Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this webinar being organized by Cluster Innovation Center. Our digital innovation opportunities around the corner. In this webinar, three key questions will be explained. First, what are the digital opportunities near us? Second, where are these digital opportunities? And last but not the least, how can we innovate? These key questions will be explained by the speaker of today, Dr. Dheeraj Bhardwaj, through proven frameworks, leading global practices and case studies. Dr. Dheeraj Bhardwaj is a Group CEO of Erna Mobility, which is based in United Arab Emirates. He has a unique blend of experiences that ranges from intense R&D, technology startups to large corporate and strategy consulting. He has advised and consulted a number of government departments and businesses in the United Kingdom, India, and Middle East on strategy, innovation, and technology implementations. Dr. Dheeraj Bhardwaj has played a major role in the development of India's supercomputer Param and its application. He holds a PhD from IIT Delhi and MBA degree from Imperial College London, UK. He has published a large number of research papers in reputed journals. He is also the recipient of 2 Young Scientist Awards from the Government of India for his innovation and was invited to present his innovation to NASA USA. Over to you, Dr. Dheeraj Bhardwaj.
Thank you, Professor Shobha. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure, real pleasure to talk to you this morning. Currently, I'm in Dubai. Right now, it's 9:30, about to be 9:30 a.m. So it's interesting times as well as exciting times when you all are locked in at your home. So we thought that let me share some of the digital innovations and the things which I've been working for several years to share with some of it with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if you could all please go on the mute so that you can hear me better. And as a housekeeping, if you could turn on your volumes, because I'm going to show you a couple of videos and you will like to enjoy the music and the voice behind around them. Great. So what are we talking today? So digital innovation. Digital is something which has been, been very too much spoken around, and everybody's talking about digital. So let's explore what is digital, what is innovation, and what is together as a digital innovation. And the most important question, which we all think of, are these digital innovations, are these arm length from us, these opportunity, or they are too far, or they are only for the Googles and the Apples and others, right? So let's explore that, whether these opportunities are within the arm length or they are too far from us. Perfect. So perfect. So the first thing is that innovation means different things to different people and different organizations. So to begin with, just so that we are on the same page and we are thinking the same, so let's keep the definition of innovation as simple as possible. So the simplest definition for innovation is successful commercial exploitation or implementation of an idea. So if there is an idea, if we can make it work for people to use it, if we can make it work for create some commercial value out of it, then it's an innovation. Let's keep that simple definition and see how that works. Then the question comes, so what is R&D? What is research and development? Is it innovation or is it not innovation? In fact, let me just make it absolutely clear that R&D or research and development transforms money into knowledge, but the innovation takes the knowledge and transform it to money. So they are complementary to each other, but the research and development is not innovation. It creates the knowledge, and then innovation takes the knowledge and converts it into money. So R&D is a sufficient condition for innovation. It's not a necessity, but it's a sufficient condition for innovation. Economic value is created when it's a successful innovation, and the business strategy drives the innovation strategy. Now, the most important part, it's very interesting and that's very important to understand that most people think that, organizations think that technology is the innovation. But actually the innovation is best resulted when you bring the business model innovation along with the technology innovation. I'll give you the one very good example before I dive into these 6 levers. Look at the Google. Google is a more of a business model innovation than the technology innovation. Now, when you open the google.com, you see the blank page. It's a white page. So we'll say, okay, what is the product? The product is basically for Google, the money making product is the advertisement. So Google was probably the first one who commercialized and commoditized the advertising revenue. The revenue comes from advertisement. That's the power of the business model. Now, when we talk about what are the levers of the business model, it's about value creation. What is being sold and delivered to the market? How it's being created? What's the value chain? Where you manufacturing it? Where you making it? How you disseminating it? How you giving it, reaching out to the customers? Is it on demand, or is it shared, or it's available where it's available when it's required? And who are the target customers? So those are the key 3 questions which answers the business model innovation. But keep in mind, the most important part in an innovation is the customer, the user. User defines what is the problem, what is the need for an innovation. So in terms of technology innovation, there are 3. So there's a product and service. What technology product you're offering? The process technology, which is basically what is the engineering method and engineering you're applying to that technology? And what are the enabling technologies? For today's example, for any of the digital technologies, take say cloud. Cloud is an enabling technology. Cloud is not offering a service or a product as such to a end customer, but it's a supporting technology. So what it's showing is that if you want the best result, it has to be a technology combined with a business model innovation. And as I said, that unless that an idea is commercialized or implemented, it's not an innovation. Okay, so we'll remember this in the future slides. Let's look at what's the big deal with the digital. What's happening with the digital? Digital, in a very interesting, is changing our lives. It's changing our daily lives, and particularly in the current times, it has become even much more important. The way we communicate, the way we search, the way we shop, the way we pay, the way we learn, the way we touch, the way we make friends, everything is digitalized. It's changing it. But interestingly, there is a chicken and egg problem when it comes to the digital. So digital is a chicken, maybe a data is the egg. So when you have the data, use the data to create the digital solution. But if you don't have a digital, you don't have the data. So the dilemma is exactly like a chicken and egg. So the right digital solution comes from the data, and the data drives the digital transformations. Okay. Now, so let's define what is digital. So start from the right hand side. On the one hand, digital is like a teenage sex. Everybody is talking about it, right? Not many people know what we are talking about, what they're doing. Everybody thinks that they're doing it. Let me give you an example of it, that how the digital is changing our lives and how digital, who we can say that I'm digitalized, I'm a digital person. So my father, who is around 80 years, he's an ex-professor of mathematics. Now I called him, I said, how are you doing? How do you think that you are digital? He claims that he's digital. I said, tell me why you are digital. He said, I have a smartphone. I use the WhatsApp. I go on the social media. I check, I communicate with my friends. I see your pictures. I talk to people on the Zoom. Absolutely right. For him, he is absolutely digital. He is absolutely, digital savvy, digitally enabled. But would that is enough when it comes to the business side of it? Is the digital in business? So it's a very contextual that who is digital, who is not digital. But at the same time, digital is creating a lot of opportunities, but it's a big threat to the businesses who are not moving towards the digitalization. If you do not move to the digital world, you will become lunch for others. And the businesses will run out, and they will be taken over, and they will go out of business if they are not. But the most important part, as I gave you the example of digital of my father, if you think of it, digital is not just about technologies. Please remember this, that digital is not about the technology. It's about new way of solving problems, creating unique experiences, and accelerating the business performance. So digital is is about solving problems. It's about creating experiences, accelerating the business performance. That's the most important part of it. Digital is not about software. Digital is not about IT. Digital is not about cloud. Okay. Now the question comes, okay, fine. We looked at the technology innovation. We looked at the business model innovation. Now, what are these technology we're talking about? What are these? What are these, and who are using those? So here is an example from a recent survey done by the McKinsey, and we looked at it. Which technologies the businesses and which technology people are looking at it. So if you look at the traditional web technologies, you have got the websites, the web tools, your traditional ERP systems, the HR systems. They are the highest, definitely. That's the base. That's the base, because the data is created through an organizational data comes from the enterprise resource planning systems. Then you have a cloud-based services. So everybody, they want the on-demand access to the data, 24/7 access to data, information, and the services. So that goes onto the cloud computing, right? Cloud services. Now, the mobile internet, big data is becoming very prominent, because the data again gives you the analytics, it gives you insights, it gives you the decision making, the tools to you. Internet of Things, I'll talk about the Internet of Things in the later slides. Design thinking, artificial intelligence, robotics, neural networks, augmented reality, virtual reality, additives, 3D printing, drones, the unmanned aerial vehicles. Drones are becoming very popular, right? They're becoming very prominent. Now, if you look at the drones, it's a very interesting example, going back to the 6 levers of innovation. Think about drones. The drones is in a COVID-19 situation. Drones have proven to be very interesting business models. Now, you can monitor through the drones, you can monitor the public, whether they are following the social distancing or not. And this could become a service to a city authority. It could become a service to a police, or it could become a service to anybody. So there is an opportunity. So if you think of it, technology is drone, but there is a business model which creates whether you do a survey, whether you do surveillance, whether you collect the data, whether you talk about people, how people are moving, how the patterns are doing, you start charging for those analytics and those services. So there is technology, there's a business model. Combined together gives you the innovation. That gives you the commercialization. Now, next thing comes that people look at it, just to show you that how to look for the new technology, what's coming up on the horizon, because the technology come and go. And you all know, in our lifetimes, we have seen the telegram disappearing. We have seen the cassette tapes disappearing, becoming digital music. We have seen so many technologies being disappearing. So we have to keep ourselves, up to date, and looking forward that what are the emerging technologies coming up. And I would recommend the Gartner hypercycle approach, where they talk about the innovations which are triggering now, where they're reaching to the maturity, and which ones are falling down and which are coming to the horizon and becoming more in the market, which have got a potential to in the market. And these are coming under the different categories. So I strongly recommend you to follow the Gartner hypercycle to look at the emerging technologies coming up. And these emerging technologies will give you the idea what new product services you can develop in future. Now, give you some case studies. Here is an example. So I met one of there's a Ecker Hotel. It's a big international hotel chain in London. I met the CEO of the Ecker. And the CEO was very frustrated, and he was telling me that, look, we are not going through an industry mutation. We are going through industry mutation. It's not a transformation, it's a mutation. Very strong word. And he said, look, now I've been running the hotels for so many years, and all of a sudden, one company comes into the middle between me and my customers and says, pay me 30%, which is my profit margin, and we will book you, we will bring your customers to you. I have no way to avoid those, because that's where the tax savvy people, that's where the outreach, that's where the marketing, that's where the business happens. And at the end, we end up paying 30% of the margins to the booking.com or airbnb.com. And now our business model has to change. We still have to make money, But now we have already given the margins we were making to the third party, and now we have to make money out of the 70. So it's a challenge in the digital transformation world, which is disrupting the digital, uh, disrupting the traditional businesses, and that are creating those things. Now, another example, look at it. What do you think of this? You would say it's a car. I would say no, it's not a car. It is a software platform. It's not the same Henry Ford car. It's a software platform. Every time it looks like a car. Yes, it looks like a car. It moves you from one place to another place, but it's not a car. It's a software platform. You download a new an update of the software. This product, this vehicle has a completely different new features. It is autonomous. Right now, it's not autonomous. It's semi-autonomous, but it can park itself. It can, if you want to ask it to come to you, it'll come to you. It can drive you. You can sleep, although you're not allowed to sleep. But the moment you download a software update, the functionality, the product itself totally changes, and it gives you completely new features. So this is not a car. And going forward, as we all know, that we will soon have all the autonomous vehicles running around that. So these are it's, although as a technology and a business model, they are bringing those things together. And you're looking at where these two things, if I showed you these two case studies, what these two businesses have done, the Airbnb and Booking.com and the Tesla, is they put the nail at the heart of the customer need. So customer needs is the most important part. You need to understand where is the problem, where's the need, and then they hit the nail on that and come up with a solution, technological solution, as well as the business model, which attracts the customer. Now, let me tell you something very, very interesting. So it's a very bold statement, but it's true that in the last 20 years, or more than 20 years, or maybe I would say 30 years, the global productivity has declined. And productivity in the last 20, 30 years has been less than 10%. You'll be surprised. But it is true. And the reason for that is that we have been following the old methods, old way of doing things. And we reached to a plateau in a maturity cycle. Now, historically, there have been 7 economic paradigm shifts. I think we are going to get the 8th paradigm shift after the COVID-19. And then during this paradigm shift, there are 3 defining technologies. In the engineering world, we call it a general purpose technology platform to manage, power, and move economic activities have emerged and converged. And what are these technologies? These are communication technologies, the power technology, the power, and the transport technologies. If you look at the first industrial revolution, this was the steam press, right? The British changed the steam the press from the German press to the steam press, right? And they use the coal. They use the coal to power the locomotives to energy, and then they put the locomotives on the rail to move people around. But in the beginning of the 20th century, that changed to the telephone, telegram. By the way, people think that the internet is a revolutionary, and it's the most powerful invention or innovation in the world. But I would say that telephone was the excellent telephone was a much bigger innovation than the internet. Now, at that time, for the communication, you has the internet. Then the cheap Texas oil, which created the new energy source, and then the Henry Ford brought in the cars and trucks, and then we moved the economic activities. But after that, what happened so this continued until the July 2008, when we got the economic meltdown. If you recall, up to that point, if you think of it, the productivity was extremely poor. Then the next new revolution came, which is, we call it Industry 3.0 or Industry 4.0, whatever we call it. This is where we started bringing in the digital network, the 3 digital networks to manage, power, and move economic activities. The digital network we brought in the high-speed network, high-speed internet. Then you had all the renewable energy. The people started the energy network, where the people started generating their energy at their homes, in their backyards, and putting up on the grid, which is quite a common phenomena in many parts of the world, where the people are coming out of the fossil fuel energy, and the coal is already disappearing from all over the world. And then you have the GPS enabled the mode of transport, which is we are moving towards the autonomous vehicles. So what's happening in the digital revolution? There are three core networks which are coming up. The communication network, now we are in the 5G, it will go to the 5G, 6G, whatever. Then we are getting into the energy network, which is powering our sources, right? And we are moving away from the carbon, totally abolishing and finishing the carbon. And we are getting into more of autonomous, more of the vehicles which are moving around. And what is happening is this is creating a zero marginal economy, right? So today, with the digital power of the digital, we could add a new product, add a new service without additional cost. So there is a spike in the efficiency, there is an improvement in the productivity, and this digital revolution is going to change that and moving us towards a zero marginal cost economy. So the whole purpose of this to explain to you is that this is the industry 4.0, where we are applying millions of sensors. We are creating the different kind of the localized and globalized networks, and these sensors and these everything wrapped around, these technology wrapped around, called Internet of Things. So humans in going future will have the sensors, and they become the part of the Internet of Things. And these are creating a lot of opportunities to make new business models, to take these technologies and convert into a commercial opportunities. Now, let me show you one very quick, this is particularly close to my heart. And then we have just recently created this startup, and a very successful startup. So every new opportunity when you're starting, when you look at it, as we know, the necessity is the mother of the invention. I mean, this is still true. So we look at a problem. We look at the problem first, look at what's the problem we are trying to solve. So when we are in the city, and in a congested and a very crowded city, you see that there is a lack of first mile and last mile solution. The city authorities provide you a public transport, a bus, a metro, a train. They provide you public transport, but they do not provide you, and it's currently missing, a mode of transport which takes you from home to the metro or to the bus or to a public transport, right? And that is a challenge, which is the first mile. And then from once you reach to the destination using public transport, then you don't have a mode of transport to cover the 3 to 5 miles to go to your destination. And because of that, most people tend to pick up a taxi, or they pick up a car. And if you think of 40 tons of a vehicle carrying one person, how good is it? From a pollution, from a safety point of view, from a traffic congestion point of view. And in the Western world, particularly in the Western world, and even in the Middle East, this is a major problem. So most of the time, to cover the first mile and last mile, you end up picking up something which is unaffordable, unavailable, and it's not sustainable. So we thought that this is a great opportunity to create a service which is on demand to cover the distances between 3 to 5 miles. So we created this new startup, which is called Arnav. So Arnav is a very interesting name, and you must have heard the Arnav Goswami. Actually, it's not a Arnav Goswami. Arnav means rabbit in Arabic. So rabbit is considered to be a cute animal, which is very curious, and it hops around to to find things around and roam around in the forest or around the communities. So this Arnav is a rabbit. Okay, so what we did is we built a digital physical platform. Again, the same thing, which is I'm talking about bringing the technology solution and a business model. So what we did is we offered this service through a mobile app. And right now we have brought in the kick scooters, which have got IoT. It's all controlled through the app. When you need it, let me show you a video. And then I'll come back to that. So have a look at this video. What is this about? Great, perfect. So if you see that surveys, this is a surveys we have about 5,000 scooters in the Middle East region, and we are moving into Saudi Arabia. And so what we have is we provide the service through the app. You go locate your scooter, go and find the scooter, take the ride. Interestingly, the how we run the service is based on the data, based on the analytics. Now the question comes that where do we locate these scooters? How do we locate these scooters? How do we make them available to the people? How we make it more efficient service, and how we fulfill the customer needs and and a regulatory compliance. It's all driven by the data. Okay. Now, very interestingly, that the what is the innovation behind it is a very interesting thing, and this is something, a framework, which is a proprietary framework which I developed almost 3 years ago. If you want to have a new if a new business you want to test, and if you want to get into a new innovation to take it to the market, what all you need to look at it. It's a very interesting 8-layer framework where the first 3 layers talk about the demand side of it. That means you look at the users. Who are the users? And then you look at the application. These users, what are they going to use it for? And then the next question comes, where this demand is coming from, which markets, where cities or within the countries, are they coming from communities, are they coming from the villages, and which places? So understand this framework explains very clearly where the demand is coming from. But then the next step is then you got to supply this. So in supplying it, you have to look at what are the devices you're going to offer. Are you going to offer a light electric vehicle, or are you offering a mobile app? Are you going to offer a retail delivery service? Then you have to look at it. What physical, the infrastructure you require. You require a shop, you require a station where you park these vehicles, or you require a piece of technology where people can, the unlock these vehicles. Then there's a service. Then you also have to look at it, that how this is disseminated to the people is through the which value chain, which supply chain will make this enabled to you. Whether you are now into the 20 cities or 100 cities, that how this is going to be disseminated, right? Most important part for any new technologies is the regulations and the legislations in any city or a country. I'll give you the example of drone I gave you. Drone is can do a fantastic model, but drone technology is well proven, no doubt about it. But if you want to fly drones, you have to comply to the aviation authority regulations. You cannot take any of the drones and start flying in a city. Now, the same thing goes with our urban mobility, the scooters, because we are running our vehicles in a city alongside with the public transport, the other mode of transport. You have to comply to the regulations. And one of the biggest challenge, and let me warn you that one of the biggest challenge is the regulations for any new technology. Because the problem is that when you bring the technology like light electric vehicle, electric scooters, the biggest challenge for the authorities is, what is it? Is it a cycle? Is it a motorbike? Is it a scooter? Does it need a license plate? Does it need a license to ride? Those things are unknown, totally unknown. And they are disrupting the whole mode of transport, disrupting the authorities, disrupting the government. So the biggest challenge is to start thinking is getting around the regulations. Then the last bit is how you make money out of it. So urban mobility, we charge people through, when they unlock, they pay $1, equivalent to $1, and every minute they pay about 10 cents per minute for taking the ride, right? Then we also offer this service to university students, because university campuses are going green and they love this. So for them, we have a subscription model for students. So students pay a lump sum monthly fee and unlimited number of rides. So you have to think about how you commercialize, how you're going to make money out of it. So this is a platform. This is a proprietary. This is one of the I would say an IP which we have created to ensure that any new digital innovation transforms, bringing the technology and innovation together and testing it through this model before we launch this in a commercial world. Great. So let me go to another thing which is very important. I talked about that, the digital innovation, as we talked about, is, are they in our arm length, or they are only for the companies like the Hewlett Packard and the Oracles and the Googles and Apples? Actually, no. We should look at that, how the cities like London, the Singapore, some of the cities like Dubai, how they are innovating, what are they doing? So if you look at that these cities are setting up the agenda, setting up the digital innovation agenda, creating the infrastructure, creating the incubators, the funding, right? All the facilitating all your environment to support the digital innovation. And they're keeping some of the focuses. So in order to give you, as a innovator, as an entrepreneur, to give you the first market, they are creating the markets for you as well. And they're setting the agenda, which areas of focus they're looking at it. So if you look at some of the core areas where the digital transformation is promoted by the cities, so digital commerce, digital education, digital health, digital government, ICT, Industry 4.0, smart cities. And these are the areas the governments are encouraging, setting the agenda for innovation. Okay, one very important part is the data. As I mentioned to you, digital data, chicken and egg. Now, what happens is and this is a very good time for the COVID-19 situation, where governments are opening up the data sets. So governments hold the data of the public, the traffic, and governments have different types of data sets available. So London is one of the best examples. London has recently opened 80 data sets. They call it open data. So London has opened 80 databases to the public, and Mayor of London has invited their residents and the citizens to come develop the mobile apps, develop the applications, develop new innovative solutions to help grow the economy and the employment and everything. And I'm pretty sure that I've been involved with the government of India, with the Niti Aayog, that they are also doing. They're also creating something similar environment. And I think the Center of Innovation is targeted towards that, where this is a platform it is a platform designed for entrepreneurs to learn and make use of the digital technologies, come of these innovations. So the answer to the question, the main question, are these digital opportunities far from us or within the arm length? Answer is, they are arm length. You have to be entrepreneur, you have to take risk, you have to be innovative, you have to think of a business model, think of a customer problem, think of a problem, and take one specific problem and try to solve it. That's the message here. So let me show you a very interesting video. About a couple of years ago, I led a team where we developed a vision for Dubai. So I'm showing you a smaller version of that big Dubai, and see that how this vision created a lot of digital opportunities. And in the last few years, a number of applications, number of businesses have evolved out of this vision. Have a look at this video. It's very exciting, and we will come back and discuss the wrap up. So let me play this video for you.
We know precisely what makes us human beings smart. Knowledge, intuition, ambition, and precision. Meaningful interaction with others. The ability to learn from past experiences, to predict. Dubai 3.0 is more than an interconnected matrix of intelligent apps. It is to ensure the flawless continuation of Dubai's desire for perfection. From government to business to public security, tourism to finance, healthcare to education to transportation to real estate. Dubai 3.0 creates a smarter city that ignites efficient business and a higher quality of living. Students using Dubai 3.0's huge database to track waste management habits of their neighborhood, turning recycling into a fun social game. Shoppers knowing where to park in the mall before they're even there. Residents paying for water, electricity, and cooling as they go, giving them the chance to observe their pattern and save energy. Visas issued, customs cleared on the plane. Visiting families having their entire week's itinerary scheduled before they arrive. Flights, hotels, transportation, dining, entertainment, even shopping, hour by hour. Hotels rewarding a returning loyal guest with a brand new Dubai experience. Dubai 3.0 transforms Dubai's existing digital capabilities into a holistic set of digital experiences, a digital ecosystem that informs, connects, and serves the citizens, an efficient system of connectivity that thrives across silos and boundaries, aggregating every innovative new media that technology arms us with. Dubai 3.0 connects all aspects of living seamlessly, effortlessly, to create coherent, human solutions to everyday problems before they even occur. Around the clock, no confusion, no fog.
Great. So this was the part of a bigger vision, which is shows that the how, what digital platform, the digital, the whole infrastructure Dubai is envisioning to create, and it's in progress. It's happening. Okay, so let's wrap it up. I mean, I think I've taken almost 35 minutes, as I promised, for 40 minutes. Let's wrap it up. So let's look at it. What we have seen this morning, what we have learned. So just as a wrap up, we learned that innovation is a successful commercialization of an idea, and innovation is best achieved with both technology and business model together. It's not about only the technology. And digital is not about software. It's not about IT. Digital is about solving problems, creating unique experiences, improving productivity and efficiency. We also looked at that what are the key digital technologies, and how to look for and continue to look for emerging technology trends. Then we looked at the urban mobility, which is how do we use the power of digital physical platform to create a very powerful intelligent micromobility system. We also looked at it how the leading digital nations are innovating, how they're creating opportunities for entrepreneurs. And then, finally, we looked at how a city's vision can set the agenda for the entrepreneurs to come forward and invite them to create the digital innovation. Thank you very much. In the meantime, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.